and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Tehila Grace and I am going to tell you a story about the life of a god named Orpheus. There were 9 goddesses called Muses, born of Zeus and a titan named Nemesis. Each muse presided over a different art or science. Calliope, one of the sisters, was the inspirations of poets and musicians. She was the mother of Orpheus, immortal because his father was one, and gave to her son a remarkable talent for music. Orpheus played his lyre so sweetly that he charmed all things on earth. Men and women forgot their cares when they gathered around him to listen. Wild beasts lay down as if they were tame. Entranced by his soothing notes, even rocks and trees followed him, and the rivers changed their directions to hear him play. Orpheus loved a young woman named Eurydice, and when they were married, they looked forward to many years of happiness together. But soon after, Eurydice stepped on a poisonous snake and died. Orpheus roamed the things on earth and singing sad melodies, trying to overcome his grief, but it was no use. He longed for Eurydice so deeply that he decided to follow her to the underworld. He said to himself, "No mortal has ever been there before, but I must try to bring back my beloved Eurydice. I will charm Persephone and Hades with my music and win Eurydice's release." When he reached the river Styx, he plucked his lyre and caroled. The ferryman was so charmed that he rowed him across. Then he struck his lyre again, and Cerberus, the fierce three-headed dog who guarded the gates, heard the sweet music and lay still to let him pass. Orpheus played his lyre tenderly as he made his way through the gloomy underworld. The ghosts cried when they heard his sad music. Sisyphus, who had been condemned to roll a rock uphill forever, stopped his fruitless work to listen. Tantalus, who had been sentenced to stand in a pool of receding water, stopped crying to quench his thirst. And even the well to which Ixion was tied as a punishment stopped turning for one moment. Last, Orpheus came to the palace of Hades and Persephone, king and queen of the underworld. Before could order him to live, he began his gentle song, pleading for Eurydice. As stern Hades heard Orpheus' song, he began to weep. Old Persephone was so moved to that, for the first time in all her months in the underworld, her heart melted. "Oh, please, my husband," she said to Hades, "let Eurydice be united with Orpheus." And Hades replied, "I, too, feel the sadness of Orpheus. I cannot refuse him." They summoned Eurydice, and the two lovers clasped each other and turned to live. "Wait," said Hades to Orpheus. "Eurydice is yours to take back on earth, on one condition." "What is that?" asked Orpheus. "She must follow you. You must not look back at her until you are on earth again." "I understand," said Orpheus, "and I am forever grateful." Orpheus and Eurydice left the underworld and made their way through the dark passage that led to the upper world. At last, they reached the cave through which Orpheus has descended. "I can see the daylight ahead," called Orpheus to Eurydice. "We are almost there." But Eurydice had not, so she did not answer. Orpheus turned to make sure that she was still following him. He caught one last glimpse of her with her arms stretched out to him, and then she disappeared, swallowed up by darkness. Farewell. He heard her cry as she was carried back to the underworld. Orpheus tried to follow her, but this time the gods would not allow it, and so he wandered the earth alone. He sang with his sad songs to the rocks and the trees, and longed for the time that when he too would die and be reunited with his beloved Eurydice in the underworld.
Orpheus by Alice Wells.